with the continued radio silence from Wicked Witch on the development of Rugby Challenge 4. I'm back with another wishlist video, part 3 in the series, and today we'll be talking about and what I'd like to see in Rugby Challenge 4. Now, just to rehash on the previous videos, I'm not expecting, nor do I want them to completely change how everything works. What I'd like to see in Rugby Challenge 4 is an improvement and an upgrade on what's already there. I think it goes without saying that we definitely need smoother animations for these animations in particular, which I thought would have been pretty easy to get down, but they're just super choppy when you're trying to catch a high ball or trying to scoop up a loose ball. Even diving onto a loose ball at times can be quite tedious, and it can even cost you valuable territory when the animation doesn't actually catch the ball or doesn't scoop it up. So with the inclusion of the Unreal Engine, I'm actually expecting a lot of those quality of life improvements. The catching, the regathering, even the passing. I haven't really mentioned it because I'm expecting it to be ironed out with the new technology they've acquired. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's move on to the kicking. The general play kicking in particular. I actually like how it works and how it controls. It isn't overly complicated, but there are a couple of things I'd like to see added. And since we're on the topic of animation, we need that drop kick animation for the 22 dropouts and the drop goals. And I think drop goals in particular, they should make it harder, and the way they could do that is they could remove the slow motion from it, and they should remove that little aiming guideline. I'm not too sure how everyone else feels about the slow motion kicking in the game, but I could really do without it. I know there's an option to turn it off in game. There'll be gameplay in the background of me playing without it. It's actually not too bad. It definitely adds a little more challenge to the game, because honestly the slow motion kicking does make the kicking aspect of the game too easy. So sticking with general play kicking, I'd like to see them, without overcomplicating things, I'd like to see them add a low trajectory punt or a punt height modifier. So how I would map that in would be, if you were to hold X to punt, you could simply just hold the L2 or the left trigger and it'll change the height, ultimately sacrificing the max distance you can get on it. I don't know, I just think it'll be a good feature, and it'll add another level of depth to the attacking aspect of the game. That's pretty much it for general play kicking. Like I said, I'm happy with how everything works with general play kicking, and I'm a little iffy on slow motion. I wouldn't be too bothered if they kept it in the game. I mean, at least we have the option there to turn it off. I would, however, like to see slow motions removed from drop goal attempts, as well as the line for aiming the drop kicks. Just to make it harder is all I'm saying, because you could cheese that all day. Alright, keeping with the kicking, we're going to move on to place kicking, starting off with conversions. Now, I'm not a fan of the new conversion process in Rugby Challenge 3. For one, again, it comes down to how easy it is. I don't like how easy it is, and they just kind of added an extra step for no reason in particular. Maybe it's to do with height, but I don't know. I kind of like the way they did it in the old Rugby Challenge games when you only get one shot at it, and I actually think they should revert to that system. That's pretty much where I'm at with goal kicking. Now, as for the other form of place kicking, we're moving on to the kickoff. Now, improvements on the kickoff, I'd say would be to figure out a way to make it harder to win the ball back at the kickoff, because where it stands at the moment, well, against the computer at least, I found that it is quite easy to win the ball back. So how would I go about making it more challenging? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I didn't really think that deep into ways to make it more challenging for kicking off. However, you could use my next suggestion, and you're kind of killing two birds with one stone here, and that's to add in contested catches. Now, I haven't played AFL Evolution 2, but I imagine they could adapt similar mechanics and implement them into Rugby Challenge 4. What I have played though, and what I'll use as an example, is Rugby League Live 4. So the way they've added it into the game, once a player has kicked a Gary Owen or a bomb kick, it activates a timing meter. 2 players go up to contest, and whoever gets the closest to a perfect catch ends up getting the ball. There will be examples while I'm talking you through it, but I think a feature like that is a must need for a rugby game. They could think of ways to add it to the kickoff so it doesn't end up being a random catch, and they'd have to figure out ways to make kickoffs, make it not turn into a contested catch-a-thon. So a little balancing would need to be done there, and I have not thought that much about it, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. a bit longer than expected, but it was fun just shooting suggestions around. And if you have any suggestions of your own, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you're new around here and would like to see more rugby gaming content, go ahead and run it straight at that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you